if you're a tax firm right now and you've been in business for more than 5 years and you do over $250,000 a year already, I can tell you there's really two paths for a tax firm that wants to grow to the next level. There's only the paths that I've seen most tax firms want to achieve. Number one is you either want to hand it off to your key employee or employees, right? Where you can give them some type of equity or ownership at the scale or when you're scaling up, or you want to give it to your children or someone in your family that wants to take over the business. Or number two, you want to sell the tax firms to some degree someday. Now, I can tell you the reason why those two things are most difficult is because number one, your kids or your key employees don't want to take over the problem that you created. They don't want to take over those years of tax seasons that you've been spending 5 to 10 years away from them, and they never have vacation because you're always working during January, February, March, April. They can't do anything, right? It's like you lose a whole 4 months of your life every single year you've done this. And if you're doing this for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, come on. This is the part right here where this is why your key employees or your family members don't want to take over the business, because they don't want that. And even though you're like, we make a bunch of money in 4 months, it's not the 4 months that the money that's the problem. It's that they lose 4 months of their life every single year, and they understand what time is worth. That's the part that you don't get as an entrepreneur, is that the money seems great, but you're losing a piece of your life every single year you do this without finding a solution. That's why I've seen most firms can't give their firm to their team members or to their family members, because their family members are like, I might as well work a job where I can get 40 hours a week and I can decide when I want to take off and all that. They don't want the type of stress that you take on. And so you either have two options. Number one is you build a system that doesn't require you throughout those parts of the season, or you try to sell the business to someone else and say, you know what, kids, appreciate you. Thank you so much for helping me throughout all this process. You guys have gotten the benefits of me working this hard for this long. Now I'm going to sell it to someone else. Caveat: if you try to sell the business, guess what? People who are going to buy your business want a turnkey operation, meaning every day you work in the business, you become less valuable as a business. Think about that for a second. Every day that you are in the business, the less valuable that actual business is. Think about it through an investor lens. If you're going to invest in someone's business, do you want to work more or less? The answer should be very simple. Yet we're surprised as to why no one wants to buy our business. It's because if someone comes in and buys your business right now and you just disappear overnight, the whole thing comes crumbling down. Which is why the business becomes so risky to investors that they don't want to actually pay for this. This is why growth is inevitable, meaning you have to grow. I was talking with a firm who buys and sells accounting firms, and one of the biggest keys that they said is revenue is the first thing that they look at, because revenue showcases to a buyer, an investor, that you have sufficient revenue, that you can hire good people, that the business stays stable. And that's what an investor wants. They want stability in their investment. They don't want radical returns, because guess what? They spent their whole life figuring out how to make money, make more money. And the big jumps and big swings in revenue, that's inconsistent, that's incongruent with how they are as an investor. That's how they got here. So you got to think about your business like that. Every day, ask yourself this question: am I working more or less in this business? If you're saying every year it's the same amount of work or the same amount of hours I'm putting into this business, the less valuable your business is to either an investor or to your children. They don't want this. I can tell you that after seeing 50,000 tax firms, most of which never sell their company, most of which their kids or their key employees don't want to take over this business. And truthfully, the only way out of this problem here is up. The only way out of this process is you need to grow to the next level. Meaning, if you're doing $250,000 to $1 million a year, or even $3 million a year in your tax firm, you must grow, because No equity company is going to want to see you, and none of your team members are really going to want to take over, because even though it's good money, it's literally losing their life for that money. So would they trade their life for the money that they have? I know you did that because you had to. You made that choice. But now you're asking them to make that choice as well. And maybe they don't want that choice. Maybe they say there's something different now. Maybe they look at it and say, I can do all this with AI. Why would I work 50, 60, 80 hours a week or 100 hours a week during tax season? I don't want that, right? There's a new way. And no, they're not lazy. It's that they're more efficient now. They understand the consequences of losing their life for the sake of growing the business. They don't want that. They saw you go through that. They saw all the years and months and days that you did not have the opportunity to take them on vacation in December because you were trying to either finish up tax returns for the year and helping clients save money on taxes, or you were getting ready for tax season, which was about to start in January, February, right? All of which, if you've never figured out a way up and out of that process, meaning if you took a vacation in February right now, you'd probably be stressing out right now. Truth is, we've been up and out of that system for many, many years. And I can tell you, it doesn't get easier, but you just get better. Because as you get better, as you grow your firm in revenue first, that's the first pillar you must grow. You must grow the top line so the bottom line can get better as well. Simultaneously, you can't grow the bottom line and the top line at the same time. It's top line first, then bottom line, which allows you to grow to that next level because you need sufficient volume so that way you can actually achieve the goals that you're wanting to achieve. And if your goal is to sell your business someday, or give it to your team member, or give it to your family member, I'd advise you to grow the business bigger and more efficient with less team members and less customers, because you don't want the big risk and handing off a big risk to someone else. You want it to be almost like turnkey operation for them. So the more you can turnkey operation this thing, the more you can work on the business, not in the business, the more sellable your business is, and the easier it is for someone else to take on.